Okay. My phone died, of course. And then I realized that not only did my phone die, I royally fucked up my contour. Like, I had to put all my face makeup on over again. Like, rub it off with the towel and put it on again. So sorry about that. And then I tried to charge my phone and the cord was not working. So hopefully that's not indicative to the rest of my day. Because I'm in a great mood and I really don't want to deal with dumb shit. So let's start this over. Maybe that's God telling me don't talk about boys today. I don't know. But we're still going to do it because we don't listen to Jesus all the time, okay? We should, but we don't. So I'm re-putting on my face makeup after wiping it all off. Because my contour rubbed off my foundation. I hate contour. I really do. I'm like the world's worst at contouring. So we're going to stick with Hoola bronzer and we're not going to contour our face. And considering, oh, that person's name is the Spicy Counselor. That's so cute. What's the Spicy Counselor? I want to know. Okay, starting over, guys. Okay, so where was I? Forgot where I left off. The early part of the year relationship. It was good. Like, he did all the little things. Actually, everything was really, really good. No shit. Like, he did all the little things, sent me Starbucks, sent me flowers, all that shit I like. Very good. And then, but I will say this. I knew going into the relationship that I had been in earlier this year that he wasn't really my type, if that makes sense. Like, he just wasn't my type. And I kept saying, he's not my type, he's not my type. And I kept telling myself, like, but with the hat, he's so cute. And, you know, eventually, like, you need to be able to look at them while they're sleeping and be like, oh my God, you're so cute. And I would look over and be like, oh my God, he is not my type. So also he was shorter than he said, which seems to be a theme amongst these boys. Always, literally, saying they're like 5'9", 5'10" on the apps and like they are short kings all day long. High school counselor. That's so funny. Okay, so it was fine, but I knew better going in that like he's not my type. I really shouldn't keep doing this. But then I booked freaking Italy and was like, oh, I'm a fuck ton of fun. It's fine. I'll make it great. No. Just because I'm great doesn't mean I'm going to have a great time. So, lesson learned there. Okay, is this better? I look way better in real life than I do on this yellow ass camera, but it is what it is. I took all my face makeup off and just started over because honestly, that looked like actual shit. Like that Maneater contour that I do really, really like, it just like wiped off my foundation. So we start over. Okay, so everything was great. And then what happened? We went to the lake, remember? That was a good time. It really was like so much fun. And I met some of his friends too. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. Like birds of a feather, but okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And so that was an okay time. He was like, it's the best time I've ever had with the girl, blah, 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 all that shit. And then when I got back, we had people over my house one night. And he mentioned, I hadn't like talked a ton about like my Yolanda Saldivar crazy ass stalker shit to him because, you know, you're like not supposed to tell the guy the whole story right away because it's fucking nuts, obviously. But like, you know me, I like tell everything right up front all the time because I can't keep anything a secret and because I just want to like lay all the bad shit out there so I can be like, look, are you sure this is the route you want to go down? Because I don't even want to get my feelings involved unless I do. So anyways, long story short, he got a message from her. As everyone does, because she has nothing fucking better to do with her time than stalk me on every platform she can and, you know, plot with my ex-husband. So, he said the message was no big deal, but I knew better because, like, he started acting way different very quickly. He came to town for a conference. I really should use a different bronzer brush. That is why I'm not achieving the results that I want. I knew better because he came to town for a conference and I like barely saw him. And when you live 6 hours away and then you come in town for a conference and then I don't see you for like 5 days, even though you told me you wanted me to go to all this shit with you, like, first of all, I don't even have time to hang out with somebody that much, but I made time. And then we didn't go to anything. And I was like, oh, something's fucking weird. And then I found out about the message and I'm like, is that bothering you? He's like, no, I know she's crazy. I don't care. Yeah, I bothered him. So, but also I think it takes like a very confident man to like wade through these waters. Like, you know the truth. I know the truth. Like the attorneys, counselors, police, all them. We all know the truth, but like it can sound crazy if you're on the outside, right? So whatever. Like that was, I didn't really care at that point because honestly, I was like, look, you're only half-assed my type here. So like, we're really pushing it. Anyways, what am I going to wear tonight? I have no idea. Okay, we'll just do like a basic, I don't know. We'll just do something. So anyways, so yeah, went to Italy and it was okay. Wasn't the most fun I've ever had, but it was all right. I'm easy to travel with, and when shit goes south, I usually handle it pretty well. So it was all right. But I knew before I went to Italy, I should not be going to Italy with this person. My counselor was like, you need to break up with him before Italy and just go by yourself. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I had already gone on that other cruise by myself and had a fuck ton of fun. But, like, do I really want to go to Italy by myself? Thinking back now, yes, I would have. But did I? No, I didn't. Because I'm dumb. So that's what happened. So anyways, we come back from Italy. I try to keep pretending, and I'm just like, ugh, this half-assed stuff is just not for me. And plus, you can't be like full force, like, oh my God, you're the most green flags I've ever seen in a girl, blah, blah, blah. And then like barely communicate and tell me that you have this like attachment style that I do not have. I have a secure attachment style where like, I'm not going to freak out about stuff. I don't get anxiety about shit like that. Like the only person who ever gave me anxiety was Captain Asshole and his little Yolanda Saldivar stalker buddy. But we're past those stages now. Funny how like now that he got all my money, I don't feel like I ever get fucked with anymore. Like my internet always works. I don't have anybody, it doesn't say anybody's trying to get in my phones. Anyways, that's a story for another day. That's a story for Sundays, remember? So, what are we doing with this face? I pulled out all my eyelashes over here. I don't care. I'm going on a date and the guy FaceTimed me yesterday and I had no makeup on. And surprisingly, I was very comfortable, but also I was like, I cannot believe I'm FaceTiming somebody with nothing on my face. I had already done the skincare routine and everything, so it is what it is. So, and I don't think he was that scared, so it's good. Anyway, so that all ended like around the time of my kid's birthday. When I was like, okay, this is not going to work. I should probably not meet your family because I don't think this is going to go anywhere in the future. So that's when I changed my flight and came home early, and it was a fucking awkward drive to the airport. It was like an hour drive to the airport. You know when you get out of the car and you're at the airport, you usually tell somebody like, okay, see you later. I just get out of the car, get my shit, and I'm like, okay, toodaloo, it's been fun. Wasted 6 months of my life. But also, I don't feel like during that whole time, I never felt like I'm in love. And I feel like you should probably feel like you are like falling for somebody during like in that span of time, and I never did. Like a lot of times, oh, I need a spoolie. Y'all, for my birthday, I want a pack of spoolies, okay? I never felt like, oh my God, I love him. Or, oh my God, I want to be with him forever. So, and then after the relationship, like I wasn't sad like you should be. But also, I don't know if that's like trauma, because I also was not sad at all when Ben got a girlfriend. Like, I think it's weird. Like, I talked to my counselor about it. How come I'm not upset about it? But she's like, you're not upset about it because A, you're healthy, and B, because you knew he was treating you like shit and you weren't going to deal with that forever. You just wanted to know where your money was at. And we all know where it is now, in his bank account. So anyways, after that, I just said, okay, I'm not going to date for a little bit. And so I didn't. And it was really nice. Like, just me chilling by myself. Like, not on any dating apps, not doing anything at all. Literally just me and my vibrator having a good time. So then I decided to get the Christian Upward app, because who am I to deny Jesus if he's telling me I should be on an app? And I got it. And like I told y'all, 4 swipes in, I was like, okay, great. Only ugly people like Jesus. This is wonderful. I'm too shallow for this app because no one's attractive and I have to be attracted to somebody. So I have no idea what I'm doing with my eyeshadow here because I also have no idea what I'm wearing. Post the messages. She would message them. So like I don't know. It's like, fuck lady, get a life. So she also messaged like the lady that I just had my pop-up shop event at. And she told me, the pop-up shop lady told me that her employee that she just fired that she's having a hard time with was in Captain Crazy Ass's class at school. Because she is a fucking teacher. I don't know how she worked that out, but God bless those kids. And so, I don't know. I just thought that was like a weird coincidence too. There's been other weird coincidences, and I'll tell y'all some of them later. I don't want to now because I don't want to like jeopardize anything for anybody else, but I'll tell y'all those later on. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know if she's ever going to go away. I'm learning to just live with it. So, but also, how do you bring that up when you're dating somebody? Like, hey, there's a high chance, like, I would love to talk about you on my social media because my girlfriends on the internet are the baddest bitches on the planet and they want me to be happy so bad. They're just waiting for me to fall in love with someone. But also, there's this one person who just does not stop stalking me. And, like, how do you explain that? People say I have stalkers, and then there's me. And it's like, it's very hard to explain that somebody like stalked you for years before you hired them. And then they tried to run your business. And then they convinced your husband to like extort money from you and embezzle money from your business and do all this shit. I can say that publicly because that's what happened. And then say, hey, we also went to court and I lost and I didn't get defended. Like, it's hard to explain the situation without sounding like you're just full of shit and have a ton of excuses. Like, I know you guys all understand, but explaining that to a new guy, very difficult. And you kind of have to because they're going to Google you. Like, I am going on a date with a guy today and I fucking Googled him, which I never usually do, but I did. And I'm glad I did because he's fucking adorable. And that's all I can tell you, because if I tell you any more, you're going to figure out who he is very quickly. And I don't want you to know. I do want you to know, but I don't want her to go fuck it all up. So, anyways, people who say they have no social media, like the guy, we'll just call him Denver. Denver, who does not live here, who I went on 3 dates with that I thought was great, who said, this Botox is getting solved on tomorrow at noon, who said, I don't want a relationship, or I don't want anything serious. See, I look so much prettier in this mirror than this camera. I should have looked so good. Who said, like, I don't want anything serious, and then we go out on these dates, and he's like, okay, yes, I do. And then he's like, but I'm never moving to Texas, but I'm going to be there for 4 days a week, every 10 days for the next 3 years. What's keeping you in Dallas? And then I say nothing. And then I don't like start daydreaming about moving to fucking Denver because it's been 3 dates. But also you're like, okay, I kind of like him. Again, not my type. Like, physically, not my type. And what I've also learned is if he's not physically my type, I need to get out. Because at the end of the day, I will convince myself to stay because I'm just being a shallow bitch when really they're not my type. And like, I am shallow in that aspect. Like, he has to be attractive, but also my type. So from now on, so I thinned out my Hinge inbox the other day. There's like 180 people in there, and I've literally lowered it down to like 60 because so many of them were just not my type. Like the clean shaven, clean cut, like office white boy is not my type, period. What's my type? We'll play the game that I said we were going to originally play when I started this video. I'll ask you some questions and you answer the question for me. What Becca's type is, fill in the blank. Comment with your answers. I want to know. What's my type? Besides raging fucking red flags. Because clearly that's my type. No, they're not that bad, the red flags. I haven't had like any absolutely horrible relationships, really. The one around Christmas time was a bit of a mind fuck, but I got out of that relatively quickly. His ex-girlfriends all contacted me, and so that was very easy to just dip out and be like, you know, I gotta go, bro. Also, like, I don't deal with aggressive men, and he was very aggressive. So, I can't wait to read your answers. What's my type? Let's do my eyebrows first, and then I'll put my brow bone highlight on. Also, I got this little nail kit. Okay, I'm going to get my nails fixed tomorrow because my cuticles are absolutely disgusting for a girl who sells jewelry for a living. But I got this for like $4 from Amazon. It's a chrome kit. Do not ever pay for chrome again from the nail salon because they charge you like 15 or 20 bucks. All you got to do is put clear nail polish on and rub this powder shit on your nails. And oh my God, it makes them like so glimmery. But I'm going to do my pink and white tomorrow. And I hope he beats the shit out of my cuticles because they are trash. Anyways. So, then what happened? Where's the top? No. My favorite, oh, there's a spoolie. My favorite brow putter on her. Where are you? Please come back. Hold on, sisters. Where's my brow? I'm gonna have to use a different brow brush. I know I should have bought like 5 of those. Even y'all got me some of those and I still managed to lose them all. Okay, so Denver goes back to where he's from, and the communication just sucks. And honestly, like, if I'm already wondering how the communication is going to be. Oh, let me tell you, that wasn't even the worst part. I think the worst part was I was very clear that I was still going to date other people, because clearly, like, you don't want anything serious, and I don't know what I want, but I definitely am not going to be somebody's, like, appointment-based side piece. So I tell the truth, like, hey, I'm going to see people while I'm going to continue to date people, whatever. And so we had a very long talk about that, and he's like, I really like you. I really don't want you to, like, he was like, I think it's unhealthy for you to date other people. Like, is it unhealthy, or are you afraid I'm going to, like, meet someone and like them? Because there's a difference. Like, it's not fucking unhealthy. Don't tell me that. And if you don't go to a therapist, do not tell me what's unhealthy. Because I have spent literally an entire mortgage on therapy. So I don't even think that was the biggest deal for him or why I cut it off. I think the biggest deal was I let him know that I told someone else that I was going to go on a date with about our, like, arrangement, about how, like, we would hang out when he came to town, and that he said he didn't want anything serious. And, like, you got to believe what a bro says, you know? Definitely not just what he says, but his actions. So, because they'll be full of shit for sure. So anyways, he got so pissed off that I told somebody else about, like, that he was visiting, when he visits we'll hang out, and that he doesn't want anything serious, but that he doesn't really want me to date other people. Because the other person, aka axe throwing guy, was like, sis, he's using you. And I was like, you think so? Because I'm dumb as shit, you know? Still a little bit. You think this whole ordeal that I just went through would give me, like, trust issues, but nope, here I am. The only issue is that I still trust people. So he gets so pissed off that I feels so good to be able to tell you all this stuff, because Whoopi's not here and we never talk about boys. So he gets so pissed off that I tell somebody else about our little thing, and my girlfriends come over and they're like, sis, the only reason he's mad is because you told someone and somebody else, like, called him out on his shit. So I wrote him and I'm like, are you mad that I told him, or are you mad that he's right? Which one is it? And we kind of went back and forth a little bit. And then the communication still kind of sucked. Like, we would text back and forth, but then, like, sometimes we'd be, like, in the middle of a conversation and then he wouldn't answer me for, like, hours, and that's fucking annoying. Like, I don't care if you have stuff to do. I'm not, like, that needy, but I am obviously way more needy than I've ever been because of the trauma I just went through, which hopefully I get back to normal. But what is normal, honestly? But if we're, like, having a conversation, don't just, like, not answer for, like, 3 hours, you know? Especially if when you do answer later, you're like, oh, well, I fell asleep right after I sent that text. Bro, it's 9:45. Like, no, you didn't. I've talked to you till, like, 3 in the morning. So, I mean, there just comes a time where you, like, have to stop believing dumb shit and start believing, like, how they're really acting. So I just wrote back and was like, he doesn't have social media either, but he told me his boss follows me. So, hi, if you're here. I did block her from my stories. I figured out who she was. That was a freaking beast. Trying to go through my follower list and look up all their LinkedIns. When I don't even have LinkedIn. You'll know last time I found out I did have LinkedIn, I was definitely wearing a wife beater and some shorts outside by a flour mill. So LinkedIn isn't exactly my forte. Anyways, my eyebrows look like shit because I'm using a totally different brush. They're, like, very boxy today, but it's okay. So, he told me, yeah, that she was following me. He was like, don't say anything crazy. I'm like, first of all, don't tell me you don't have social media, and then limit me on what I'm going to say. But I also told him that we don't usually talk about boys because we don't talk about it a whole lot. I'm very vague with you guys because of Captain Crazy Ass. Like, I would love to just spill all the details of everything, but that's why I always post all the dumb shit people write on Hinge, because that is funny. Tell me that is not funny. These fucking idiots out here. If you're expecting a personality, no way. I don't get that too, you mean? So, anyways, that's dead. And surprisingly, I'm not that sad about it. Like, I thought I was going to be, like, hurt feelings, but honestly, I'm not. And maybe it's because I have a lot of other distractions, or maybe it's because I, like, tend to distract myself very quickly. But I just don't get that sad. Like, I spent 3 years crying to you guys on the internet. Fuck that. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, if there's too many possibilities for me to be out there, like, crying over one person. So, no. If you're not a vibe, you're not a vibe. Damn. The eyebrow game. Okay. So, that's done. Then, we went on a date with Axe Throwing Guy, which was very fun. I don't know if he's as tall as he says, but he's a nice guy. A little bit too sassy right out the gate. Like, I had to tell him, chill the fuck out with that right away. But I said it in a nice way. That wasn't as trashy as what that just sounded like. But I don't know. Then I told him that I had another, like I was supposed to go out with him tomorrow again. And he has girl kids, which obviously, you know, I'm a sucker for that shit. Because A, I still want to be a mom. And B, like I've always wanted to be a girl mom. So I tend to let that cloud my judgment. With old Italy guy, I definitely thought the fact that he had a girl kid and a boy kid, but mostly the girl kid, that definitely made me stick around a little too long. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a girl mom again. No, you're not. So anyways, I love his daughter so much though, still to this day. Okay, so axe throwing guy, nice guy, really good guy. But I'll tell you, he kept telling me over and over again, I might be too simple for you. I might be too, and I don't know what that means, but I think it means you might be too much for me. Like, I think that's really the guy saying, like, you might be too much for me. Or, like, they're always like, oh, you're so bougie. Listen, I just spent 17 years being a fucking sugar mama to somebody else. I understand I'm a little bit bougie, but I ain't even ever had a guy pay for my nails to get done. So if I am bougie at all, I could cover it. You don't even have to worry about it. It's fine. Just let me be bougie. So anyways, that was kind of I don't know. But he was a good guy, good kisser. A little bit shorter than he said he was, for sure. But he was a nice guy. So I was like, all right, we'll go out again. Wednesday night. So then I told him that I have a date on Tuesday. Because I'm honest. And what happened? He's like, I don't want to share. If you don't feel like there's a connection with me already enough to not date other people, then I'm going to go. I'm going to bow out. And I'm like, is he calling my bluff? Because I will double down. So I was like, okay, friend. To the fucking loo. Have a good day. Because are you kidding? After one date, I'm definitely like, I got married after 5 months, had a kid. No, I got married after 5 months, was pregnant in month 3, I got married, engaged, got pregnant, had a kid in the span of 11 months. And we all see how that shit rolled out. So I'm not doing that again. Like, I need to be able to like explore and see what I want to do. And I don't mean like explore with a million different people, but just let me know first. Or let me figure it out first. So anyways, he said he was going to dip out. And then he texted me right after that and was like, once you realize that, like once you're done running around and you realize that all these guys ain't it, hit me up. Which I knew from the beginning he wasn't really gone. Why? Because I'm a fucking peach. I'm a blast to hang out with. So I knew he would want to come back. And clearly he does. But I think the sassiness was like a turnoff for me. I think it was like too sassy. Like I want someone who like, however we all thought about me, that's what I want. But I want it to be like actual and not because I'm paying all your bills. So I don't know if that guy would ever do that. You know, you got to think like, maybe he is too sassy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking to him now because he does not want me to date other people. And I want to see what's out there. And maybe, I mean, I'll tell you this. I am talking to somebody else. And he has definitely distracted me from my Hinge inbox for the last couple days. So that's been fun. But also, we know I like fall in love way fast. So, I mean, not really, I guess. But I like, what is it called? I romanticize the situations. That's what my therapist says. Like, I seem to think that, like, everything's going to end up being this great thing, even though it doesn't always. Okay, so finish the sentence. We're playing that game still. One of Becca's, no, let's start on a positive note. Becca's good at blank. Doesn't have to be relationship-based, just answer the question. And I'm not fishing for compliments because I'm about to tell y'all to say Becca's bad at. And we have a whole list of shit. So Becca is good at what? Answer the question. Because then we're going to hit it with the Becca's bad at. And that's a laundry list of stuff. Besides cooking. We all know I suck at that. Oh, my makeup is not looking so good today, ladies and gentlemen. Need some hair powder. I definitely have a bobby pin sticking out the top of my head. Let me see what you said. Cowboy, bearded, a country boy. That's my type. Jason Momoa. He's not my type, actually. No, I don't like long hair. I don't like a bald head. That's for sure. Okay, here's another question. What's not my type? If you were to guess. Have I ever dated anybody that y'all saw pictures of? Y'all never see any pictures of them because I never talk about it. But what's not my type? Not my type is... oh, my fucking hair is just falling out of these extensions. Somebody that doesn't understand my job and that I would do my job for free, but that my job does involve a lot of time on my phone. Okay, what did you say? Beard, tall, built, scruffy cowboy, bearded, tatted daddy. Bearded. Y'all really think I like the beard, huh? Rugged man, hunts, loves Jesus. That's true. Loves Jesus, buff, but not bodybuilder. Yes, because that was gross. Bearded country man. Yes. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. Absolutely a cowboy. Love the Lord. Hardworking, tall, has some muscles, and accepts you and Wibby as a package. More of a Rip from Yellowstone. Yeah, maybe not that serious because I am obviously like super fun and happy all the time, but someone who's like very much a protector. I definitely feel like, look, I have to hide this before my date. Someone who's like, I don't know, girls look for their dad. I mean, minus the alcoholic thing, I want someone who's like a protector like my dad was, you know? Like, my dad would literally, like, jump through fire for me. Brow highlighter. This is actually part of, like, the brow stamp thing. I would get, like, just the NYX, like, cream colored or beige colored pencil. It works just as good. And then I'm using Rainforest 2 palette that you can never find anywhere. I need some hair powder in here. I need to hurry up. I have to leave in, like, 45 minutes. I was rolling last night. I even read some of them to my husband. They are funny, right? That wasn't even bad. The first round I did was like freaking hilarious. Last night was just like whoever was in my inbox right now. And there's not as many because I haven't been active on the app. Thanks. I'm a good mom. If they're 2 inches shorter. Sis, they be like 4. Like my son is 5'11". So if you say you're 5'10" and you show up 5'8", I'm 100%. If my son can see over your head and he's 5'11", you're not 5'10". Okay? I'm good at being honest, telling stories, my makeup, making friends, making you laugh, being a girl's girl, being a mom. Thanks. Being honest, being herself, being honest. You're so nice. I love all the be honest. Becca's good at building a boss lady empire. Yeah, we got to do that over again. Remembering every single detail of everything. My best friend Heather, her comment says, Becca is good at remembering every single detail of everything. Names, numbers, dates. That is what you think would have helped me with my divorce case, but is definitely going to help me later on whenever we go get our money back. Because we are doing that. Being a mama and being honest. Wait, okay, not my type. Kristen, are you saying that a corporate business guy is my type or isn't my type? I don't know what Jack from Virgin River is. What did Stalker message her ex-boyfriend? It was the same account that had messaged me before because she's not that fucking creative. And like, okay, so here's the deal with her too. I'll tell you. Well, we'll talk about it more on my Sunday stories, but so it's not just her. She has this like 65-year-old chick from Arkansas who like it's like a little army of 6 on, not even 6. I can tell you like Amy, this girl that used to work for me, Crystal, and then this old ass lady named Charlene who lives in Arkansas who has nothing better to do besides like repost all my shit on TikTok, and she's really weird. It was weird too because during the divorce trial, Ben would like show some of my stories and they would say like Becca from Kiki LaRue, and y'all know my name has not been Becca from Kiki LaRue on Instagram in like two years at least. So it's like you didn't record that and save it away, bro. I know because you accidentally uploaded all your Google photos to my iCloud drive. So I know you didn't just have that. You got sent that. And you got sent that by Captain fucking suing us. So anyways, we'll talk about that. Also, like, how do you explain to a date? Like, I got sued for telling people that I had a stalker because I really do. And then my husband helped her. And then, like, she sued us for $1 million. And then he helped her do it. And then he wouldn't help me, like, defend myself. And then he kept telling me it was her. And then we went to court and he swore it wasn't her, even though he told me and my kid for 2 years and everyone we knew that it was her. And, you know, like, you just can't really bring that up. It's not something you just talk about over coffee. Also, with a lot of these corporate guys, like, they're not even like social media savvy enough to understand how all this works. So they're like, why'd you hire somebody if they were crazy? Like, you don't know that they're crazy when you hire them. You figure that out when they do dumb shit, like sue you for telling people they're stalking you. So anyways, also, and I guess the concept of like having a shitty lawyer is really foreign to people, but let me tell you, I've run the gamut with that thing, so it's definitely happened. I mean, if you go through a divorce and you show up to trial and don't have your inventory list, that's not exactly like, you know, Harvey Specter material. But we'll figure it all out in the end. Anyways, okay. So, axe throwing guy, nice guy, just probably not for me in the long run. Especially not for me if you think that I shouldn't talk to other people yet. Like, we have no commitment. You've not even brought me flowers yet, bro. No, we're not doing that. I feel like my face looks like it's like dragging, but in real life it looks like plump. I don't know. Like on the camera I look like more yellow with rosy cheeks, and in real life I look tan with rosy cheeks. Okay, hi Jane. Have you thought about doing a podcast? I know, you'll tell me that all the time, but like everybody has a podcast and I don't know. And I'm more of like a visual person. Like you have to see me when I'm talking versus like me just rambling off shit. And I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. My fear, honest to God, is that she's going to kill me one day, which is, I guess, because, you know, she got her money or whatever. But, like, when I start fighting back, which I'll do next summer, like, I'm scared that she's going to, like, go bananas like Selena and murder me because everybody's really going to, you know. Or, like, at least when I start showing the actual proof of the text messages between them and the shit she did in my business and all that stuff, like, I do worry, like, she's going to kill me. So I'd like to get enough of it out so that at least Dateline has something to talk about. And I'd like to make enough money so if she does kill me, my kid has something to fall back on. Because we all know his daddy ain't giving him none of that freaking $1 million he just stole from me. So, I don't know. We'll see. But this is a lot of the reason why I didn't date for a minute after the Mr. Big situation. Because it's just a lot to explain. Even my job with you guys, like, people are like, oh, you're an influencer. Like, no, I'm like the opposite of that. Like, I don't give a shit if I link a product or not. I can make tons of money if I do. I just always forget. And I just like to tell my friends stuff regardless of if I get paid for it or not. So, oh, I got a text message. I need to go answer that. I met a girl at the nail salon today. She's so cute. Her name's Cheyenne, but she's going to Japan tomorrow as a flight attendant. And then she's going to come back and be my hand model. And my clothing model. She's a plus size girl. She's so pretty. But her hands were like... didn't have any wrinkles. She's so pretty. Did I get to keep all my binders? Yes, and they will come in handy. Are you afraid they'll spend all the money and nothing will be left? Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not afraid of that. And I definitely think that he will spend it because people who didn't have to work for it don't appreciate it. But I don't care if he does because all I want is the judgment. I don't actually care if I, like, get the money back. I want the judgment. Like, I want the judge to say, I believe you. You've always told the truth. And that man should never be allowed on the internet. And also, shame on you, crazy hoe, for all the stuff you're doing. So, that's really my MO. I don't know. I mean, I'll never get all the money back. I mean, it was like, what did I say? $14.9 million over 6 years. That just, like, vanished in thin air. So, I know I'm, like, never going to get all that back. I do hope there's some kind of recourse. Like, the fact that he's, like, gets my 401k and I, you know... and I have to give him a shit ton of cash I don't have. And he got all my property, all my dad's tools, all my dad's lawn equipment, saying my dad gave it to him. No, bro, he didn't. So at least if I get that stuff back. And I hope there's some kind of like punishment for lying on my taxes and all that stuff. And not under-reporting income, but over-reporting income. So basically, like, I overpaid the IRS to the tune of like almost definitely probably close to $1 million. Well, if you look at the document that was in his computer that they texted each other back and forth about, it was over $1 million. So I think he thought I was going to file an amendment and then he would get half that money back, but I'm not going to do that, bro. You just gave the IRS a lot of money for nothing. So, but really all of it is just I want the judgment back and I want to be able to tell my story and I want to be able to warn other people, like, let other people know who are going through divorce. Please don't depend on your attorneys to show up with the right shit because they won't. And then be more adamant. Like I had said 50 times, like I wrote, I'm begging you on a piece of paper and gave it to my attorney for her just to make the judge watch that video where he was telling me to like lie to the bank and saying our inventory wasn't really $275, even though he knew it was and he said it was. He was like, no, you can't say that. Like where he was like telling me that a forensic accountant isn't as smart as a regular CPA and all that stuff, which is obviously not true. Like, I want to be able to teach other women, like, hey, when you start hearing this kind of stuff, like that, It's wrong. Like, don't believe that stuff. Don't be dumb like I was, or otherwise you'll be in the same position I'm in and have to start completely over. And I want there to be some kind of punishment with the fact that I literally have to start my business over, and a business that was on the Inc. 5000 list for fastest growing companies in America. And at the end of the day, there's no reason my business should be as slow as it is now when I was on this huge trajectory of making like $1 million more every year. And then they got involved in my finances and I lost $1 million a year. But also, why did you tell the judge that we had 700 grand in inventory and forged my name on documents when we've never had 700 grand? So we'll work all that out. And you'll be kept abreast of all that situation. Because luckily for me, everything he did is on paper. So like the judge issued a statement saying this is where she got her information to give him all the stuff. And you can't like undo that, you know? Don't want too much down here. Okay. I'm not going to have the best makeup day today, but it is what it is. The guy's really fun, so hopefully he won't care. And he definitely saw me ugly. And still wants to take me on a date. This is, I don't know where this is from. Probably the dollar store. It's just like a copper crayon. This color. But I put the dark Charlotte Tilbury color under, and then I just go under with this. Because when I try to put eyeshadow under my eyes, it like gets all in my eyes, and then I end up picking all my eyelashes out, and my lash lady gets annoyed, so that's what we're doing. Where's my spoolie? I'm gonna clean these up. So anyways, I'm back to the old dating board again. And it's not bad. It is really fun. I don't know why people say like such bad things about it. I think it's bad if you like get all in your feelings and stuff, but I have been trying to not get in my feelings and trying to look for red flags, like love bombing, which is hard because it's hard to tell the difference sometimes between like love bombing and somebody genuinely being interested. I've definitely seen a little bit of that with everybody. So I'm just trying to like navigate between like, oh, they think you're great, and oh, they're going to gaslight the fuck out of you one day. So it's all, you know, you got to learn. Also, I really need a straightener because I don't want to curl the top layer of my hair, but it's super frizzy. I wasn't going to put like any curl in my hair and just wear it straight, but the top layer is like frizzy and I need a straightener. I'm just going to have to go through it with this. So I'm going to go on a date tonight to a little bistro, and hopefully it turns out good. The guy's really interesting. Total opposite of me, but then not. He's super transparent so far. You know, you don't really know. But seems fun. Definitely answers my text messages. Doesn't tell me he doesn't want anything serious, because I don't know what I want, but telling me you don't want anything serious makes me absolutely feel like a booty call. And I don't want to be that. So, I don't know. See, I don't want to curl my hair, though. Okay, here's another question. What is Becca really bad at? What am I really bad at? I'm really bad at staying focused. Especially because Vyvanse has been on a manufacturer recall for 3 fucking months. I'm really bad at not saying cuss words, which is why I can't talk to my church yet, because I definitely say the F word too much. I need to crimp my roots. I'm really bad at cooking. I'm really bad at telling my kid no. Although I'm definitely holding my ground with this whole like septum piercing thing. We're not doing that. No. So sorry. Not happening. Hell no. No. Like, I just don't like it. I don't want to see it. We're not doing that. Okay. Maybe I'll plug in that big curling iron, and then I need to go get one of my own straighteners tomorrow. They're probably in my garage, to be honest with you. We'll plug in this curling iron. That way it's like a wider barrel so I can curl that top layer. So I don't even want it to have like a little curl, because then you're going to tell the difference between my real hair and my bougie-ass extensions. I had so many ideas in my head, too, of the questions I was going to ask before I started this video. What's my type? What's not my type? Yes, you want them to love Jesus and love your kid, but you can't tell if they're going to love your kid right away. I also said I really didn't want to date anybody without kids, but I think maybe it won't be that bad if I date somebody that, like, has a big family. Like, nieces, nephews, cousins, all that. I feel like I'm making an excuse right now. Because it is hard for people to, like, understand moms. Especially, I'm a solo, full-time, single parent. Like, I do everything alone. We all know that. So it's hard for people to be like, why do you let him get away with stuff? Listen, he's not a murderer. And, you know, he definitely describes his dad as a sociopath. So, yeah, maybe he gets a little extra. Maybe that's why he got a nice car. Or he would have got the nice car had we not gone through all the crazy shit we went through. So I'm not going to change his life just because. Yes, I finally did put my kid's car on social media. That was another thing. So Yolanda Saldivar and her little crew drove by my house. And then the next day, posted what kind of car my kid had before I told anybody. And her justification was, you posted the interior of the car. First of all, I know what I post. I'm extremely conscious about it. And I know I did not post anything in that car which you could tell what it was. No side doors, no shape of the seat, nothing like that, number one. And then the Amy person that I was saying that, which is so weird because we have, like, mutual friends. I caught her because, as one of Crystal's little cronies, because she had posted, basically on Reddit, if you have ever posted on, like, another forum, somebody can click on your name and they can see, like, every comment you've ever made. So she had posted about CrossFit and about some athletic wear, some shit, I don't know, and houseplants. So I decided, it's funny because she's probably watching this under a fake name. Hi, Amy Craft. So she worked for me for a little while. She was a packer. Y'all probably don't know who she is because, like, we didn't, like, hang out or anything like that. Although if you go look at her Facebook, like, one of her public posts is, like, congratulating me on my Inc. 5000 win. And she was definitely always in my DMs, like, oh my God, you're the best. Weird shit. And so, anyways, I posted on Facebook one day and I was like, I knew what I was doing. And she had posted a picture of plants at her house. So I, like, told everybody on Instagram or Facebook that me and Whoopi were gonna get involved with houseplants, which we really are. And we have some houseplants. Anyways, and I was like, anybody have any tips for me? And, like, people that are, like, obsessed with you, but, like, still talk shit about you on the internet, they want to feel involved. So they'll still, like, do things like answer your questions on social media and stuff because they're fucking sick in the head. And so I think it makes them feel important, which it's weird for me with her too, because she actually has friends. Like, we have mutual, like, friends in our friend groups, but watch out, girls, because it's her. Anyways, I posted on social media and I was like, hey, me and Whoopi are looking to get into houseplants. Anybody got any tips for me? And hook, line, and sinker, she commented on it. And so I was like, this is great. Easier than I thought. And then she commented something about the houseplants. And then she said something about, I was like, can you send me a picture for reference? And she did, because they're dumb. And, I plugged in the wrong thing. Did I? I did. Dang it. She posted a picture. And it's the same floor, same curtains, same trim, same house, same plant. And I'm like, oh, that was easy. So I have her phone number on my phone because she was a customer and an employee of mine. So I text her like 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, she had just posted some shit about me on the internet. Which luckily too, since my divorce, I've not read it one time. Other than like the very next day after the divorce when I saw somebody miraculously posted that I walked in the hallway when it was just me and Ben. And I looked down the hall and I said, I forgive you. And of course the next day, like the headline of the blog on Reddit was, Becca whispers, I forgive you. Like, who the fuck knew that? It was me and you in the hall, Ben. Nobody else, sicko. So anyways, so then she had posted about me on Reddit like 7 minutes earlier. So I texted her like 4:30 in the morning because I was awake. And I was like, can't sleep? And I was like, she's like, who is this? And I'm like, you know who it is. And then, what did the message? I need to go copy the message. It's on my other phone. I get uncomfortable saying it's in my other phone. She said, she screenshotted my message to her, and then she sent it to somebody via Discord, because you could see Discord was the app that was in the top left corner of her phone. So that's the app she was just on. And she accidentally, like, sends the message back to me, the screenshot, and she's like, she just wrote me this. after I'd made a couple comments on Reddit, I'm getting ready to go work out, but apparently she has 2 phone numbers. So I write her back and I'm like, who you writing that to? And she's like, wouldn't you like to know? And I'm like, you're fucking sick, lady. Like, you are literally like, that is not normal, okay? To be in my DMs and be like, oh my God, I love you, Becca, so much. And then to be like sitting with them weird ass people on Reddit, that is just gross. But okay, you do you, boo-boo. So you really gotta watch out, because you think these people are like normal, everyday, like girl next door, and then you find out they're like sitting with, you know, these internet trolls. So she accidentally sends me the screenshot, and I'm like, who are you sending that message to? Because I know. And she then doubles down and goes and posts about what just happened with my exchange with her on the internet. Like, her balls got big, and she's like, I don't care if you tell everybody it's me. That's gross, girl. Like, you are so much, I thought you were so much better than that. Like, what are you doing? Sitting with these weirdos. Like, talking about, you know, like, Crystal spent $27,000 at my store and then had been stalking me for years and wrote about me on the internet every day of her life and still continues to. Except for now she has, like, you know, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. She has a fucking podcast about me. Really. It's, like, not flattering. It's, like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's gross. Also, I'm the only thing making her relevant. So, that says a lot because I ain't that important. So, anyways, that's how I knew it was the other girl. But sometimes it's not just Crystal, like, writing stuff. It is Crystal trying to host Zoom calls and trying to host meetups around town so that her... Can you imagine going to a meetup and the only thing y'all have in common is some nice girl on the internet that y'all all hate, that you act like you like in her DMs? Like, that's some weird shit. Or, like, telling people, like, I need 1,000 followers on TikTok so I can go live. Go live for who? No one gives a shit, lady. They don't. If they cared, you wouldn't have had the same Instagram account for how long now? 8 months. I got an Instagram account with 6,000 people following it, and I ain't never made a post. And you got one where all you do is make videos about me, and there's like 100 followers, 180 people or something. And if you go follow it, I'll block you, so don't do that. But you're welcome to go... No, don't do anything. Just stay away from it all. It's gross. It's bad for your health. And I can say that. So anyways, yeah, all that shit's kind of hard to explain to someone when you're dating them. I mean, to me, all I have to do is be like, look, if you, like, she purchased my name as a website. She purchased my Instagram name as a website. She purchased, even at court, the judge, because, you know, she was Ben's only witness in our divorce, which is disgusting. This woman's suing us for $1 million. You've told me she's stalking us for the last year. You've told me you have no idea how she can hear in our house all the things that are being put on the internet that I'm not telling anybody. And now all of a sudden she's your only witness in our divorce. Like, you're not only witness, like, you're like star witness in our divorce. It's gross. So, but that's why he didn't want my kid to talk, because my kid would have told the judge, look, ma'am, my dad's been telling us for 2 years, like, coming in the room trying to show us ways that it's Crystal doing all this stuff and not him. And now he's like, you know, she's his witness, he's her witness. He was on her witness list. He was on her witness list for her lawsuit against us. Like, red fucking flags, bro. That's why I said, like, if he didn't do the stuff I said, we wouldn't be getting divorced. Because the only reason we got divorced was because he was doing the shit I said. Or the shit that everybody told me he was doing that he tried to deny for 2 years and blame on her. And that's why he was trying to get in my phone. Because all the stuff that... Like, I heard somebody say she's, like, reading text messages between me and her on her stuff. Of course she is, because what did I tell you on November 3rd, 2020 that happened? Her entire text thread got deleted from my phone the night I came home and said, I know who it is and I know who's doing this. How did her text thread get deleted? Mr. Clark. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I wouldn't delete someone's text thread. I never delete people's texts. So anyways, and I found it very convenient that now she's supposedly... reading text messages between us, but, like, I don't have any of her text messages anymore. Of course. Also, where were those text messages during court? I thought you said that we were supposed to turn them all in. Isn't that what you told me? I had to, like, hire a third-party forensics company to get all the text messages back between her and Ben, but we did. And I can match them up to, like, exact posts the same day where they're talking. I knew, too. Remember when I told y'all, like, I found this document, this file on this computer, and it's titled Crystal. This is before I knew she was going to sue me. It's titled Crystal, and it's almost like there's like a curated list of text messages, but I know that's not all the things that they've ever texted about. It's almost like a list of like, I mean, a folder of documents that you would have if you were like gonna defend somebody, which didn't make sense to me because I was like, huh? Like, she left the same day I said that I was gonna get a CPA, which was also the case with the last company she was with that she also sued. And those are such good people too. God, poor guys. They're like, Becca, if we would have known, we would have warned you. Also, they said that she was like obsessed with me when she worked for them, and I didn't even know her at that point. Like, I didn't know she existed on the planet. So, anyways, long story short, that stuff's hard to tell, because you guys already know all that shit. But it's hard to tell that stuff to like a potential suitor and then be like, fuck, I don't know, I don't want to get involved in this. But it's all true, and you guys are still here because you heard me asking the questions in 2020, asking the questions in 2021 when I was being told I wasn't going to get divorced and he's not doing anything wrong and it's just her and blah, 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 gaslighting me and my kid all the time. Coming in there going, oh my God, she signed into QuickBooks. And I'm like, hold on, you're in charge of QuickBooks, so how is that even possible? But luckily, QuickBooks tells you what accounts like activate and reactivate. And even if it looks like it came from my QuickBooks account, which I didn't even know I had, it tells you the exact IP address of the computer. And guess what? I've never had Linux operating system on any of my computers. And the computer that not only created the account at work that looked like it was Haley logging in, and it wasn't. I knew it wasn't too. Right when that happened, I was like, nope, she would not do that. She would not go to the inventory receiving side. She would not log into the computer. And I knew it wasn't her real login because I knew she didn't have an orange icon. Something in my head was like, no, I would have remembered that orange icon. And sure enough, that wasn't hers.